This is Green Apple. Yes, we are continuing our track by track listen through to the album Attitude with the next song, which is called Viking. And this one's particularly interesting because when I'm looking through the list of songs on here, this is with exception to the intro, this is the first song we've listened to that has no music video, so this was not put front and center. And this is a album that has a lot of music videos on it, let's put it that way. So this is the first song we just have a music video. So it kind of makes you think when an album is primarily made up of songs that have music videos, and I would call anything with a music video, I'd call a single. I think in the days of streaming and everything, really the only thing that defines a single for me is something where the record company felt it was worth investing in going and filming a music video. So for me, this is the only one. This is the first one that isn't considered a single. It's just a song. And this is where hopefully we'll start to see a little bit of the variation, because that's kind of what I want to hear. I mean, I've been getting a lot of the singles, and I can see there's a lot of, there's some interesting change in tone. We've had some songs that have been a little bit more EDM, a bit more ballad, a little bit more poppy, a little bit more jazzy. But I'm kind of interested to see what happens when, the leash is off, when there's absolutely nothing but just the freedom of expression. Let's see what comes from it. So yeah, I'm interested. Obviously, there's a few non-music video tracks on this album, but this is the first one. So I'm intrigued to see what we get here. So far, this album, by the way, I should point out, so far, album's been really cool. Intro is interesting. Attitude is one of those songs where a lot of people have given a lot of praise. It's one that I think it's nice. It just felt a bit weird for me as the first track on the album. Inferno, getting a bit of a rocky direction. Cheers, very sort of Silent Siren pop-esque vibe. I enjoyed that, though. I think it worked really well. So let's see what we got next. Let's go. Oh, I like that piano. Jazzy but menacing. That triplet rhythm is really nice. Not triplet, sorry, triplet. Is that a mandolin? An Eastern European vibe here. Like his voice is starting to Okay, that's a nice chorus for a song that isn't a single. Yeah, this is more about building a mood, though. I kind of got like a bit of a soundscape here. It's very evocative. Combined with that rhythm and the backing vocals. I'm gonna hold up my beer. Shanty time. I think the rhythm is doing a lot of good to this song. I love the fact we got a song like this on the album. And it's very short, it's only 3 minutes. Oh my god. Yeah, with that heavy, like almost timpani-esque percussion back there. Oof. Oh yeah, okay, I actually quite like that. This is kind of what I was hoping for. Yeah, okay. It you can go so many ways with a album track. It wasn't obviously hyper experimental, but this is the sort of song where obviously the chorus is not a big thing. It's got that sing along thing, but it's not like about doing a super catchy chorus. This is more a song that has a mood. Yeah, it immediately builds up this kind of slightly, yeah, it's got a bit of a sort of a dark, mysterious vibe to it. You know, start off with like the 3/4, like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 style rhythm straight away. Gives you a bit of a swinging feel. It's like, is it a sea shanty? Is it like more of an Eastern European vibe as the mandolin comes in? Pretty sure that was a mandolin. Apologies if I get that wrong. Actually, there's a couple of instruments in here where I feel a bit of an idiot because I should know what they're called and I don't. I think there was a mandolin over on the right hand side. Got my headphones the right way around, haven't I? Yeah. I think it was a mandolin over on the right hand side, and then there was that I can't remember the heavy sort of percussive jump jump. It's kind of like a timpani-esque kind of sound back there as well, and you know that immediately kind of gave it something somewhere between like an Eastern European or a scenic shanty-esque vibe, and it immediately just felt like it was very evocative. But I love the way that his voice comes in kind of low when he's singing in this slightly rhythmically but it's kind of lower down way, and then he builds up to it, and then you get the whoa, which again adding to that sea shanty-esque vibe. It for me this was really about building up a really interesting mood, but I loved that juxtaposition, which again, I guess comes with the territory, but that juxtaposition between having a song that's very sort of rhythmic, you know, you just can't help but want to move along to it, but at the same time kind of has a slightly more dark and, you know, evocative feeling to it, much more atmospheric feeling to it. That's nice because you get to be taken, transported to a slightly different place by this song, whilst at the same time having having something that keeps you moving, that doesn't get too kind of like bogged down. Ironically, actually, now I've said all of this and I just suddenly realised this song is called Viking, which is rather weird because I wouldn't think of this as being a Northern European sounding song at all. But then again, I'm probably applying too much. I'm applying more logic to this than I think anyone else was. It's just a song that's kind of evocative of that sort of pseudo-European old-school seafaring vibe. That's what they're going for. Okay, in that sense, I get it. Yeah, I didn't even think about the title, actually, rather ironically. Ironically, it's not on screen, because when you're listening on a YouTube playlist, it doesn't show you the name of the song. It just shows you the name of the album. Great job, by the way, YouTube. Nice that. Yeah, don't put the video name there. I have to scroll down to see what we're listening to. Nice. Oh, man, the YouTube UI has some weird playlists in YouTube are weird. Anyway, that's a whole different thing. For me, yeah, this definitely had that vibe down really well. I like the atmosphere. It is, again, it's one of those songs where because it doesn't have like the big catchy chorus and because it's not doing anything so incredibly out there, it's not going to drag you back on its own to be listened to in isolation. But as a song that comes up on an album, yes, this is exactly what we want from an album track. A song that when it comes up, you're like, oh man, I remember this. This is a good track. Yeah, I think they nailed that here. This is a really good album track. Really makes you want to move. Really evokes an emotion. But when it's over, you're ready to move on to the next song. Doesn't linger too long. Sticks around for just over 3 minutes, which is just about enough time to make its point, allow its point to settle, but not, as I say, overly linger. And also built up by having, really nice sounding raw recorded instruments in there. From what I could tell, everything sounded like it was properly recorded. Nothing sounded like it was simulated. Not that's a problem. You can have like sort of synthesized instruments, but in this particular case, for a song like this, you want it to have that sort of rawness, which it felt like it had, of like being real played instruments. This was nice. Some investment, time, love, and effort went into creating and crafting a song here, music video aside, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah, no, admittedly, I know record companies are not going to decide which songs get music videos like in advance, but this is a song that it felt like it was written more because they wanted to make it rather than because they were trying to make a single, and that is something that I always like to see that with a band, when they can follow through a song like that. And that's why the album tracks are often amongst the most interesting things you can hear by any band once you've started to get an idea for what makes their singles and their more famous and popular songs so effective in whatever scene they put their music out in. And of course, very few bands are as effective as Mrs. Green Apple and their level of fame. Anyway, there you go. Those are my thoughts. As always, get in the comments. Tell me what you think. I thought this was really interesting. And then the next track that we'll be moving on to after this is Propose. It has a music video, but I haven't seen that one yet. There's a couple with music videos I haven't seen yet. And then obviously we will have Outdoor, that too, which I've already done a reaction to that. So we've got a couple of videos, and then next one, Kudari, 3 videos from now. So I'm trying to put these out every 3 days. Like you guys know, I think there's a little bit of a break between this and the last one, but I'm trying to put them out every 3 days. So stick with us. Remember to subscribe, all that usual YouTuber jazz. And until I hopefully see you very soon in Japan for the next one of these, for now, ciao, ciao.